Jai Hare Krishna. Lila Mai Prabhu, Rupa Nuga, Seva Rupa. Rupa Nuga Prabhu, where are you?
I am in Melbourne now. I move very fast. I was in Sydney last time. Now I'm in Melbourne, in Victoria, in Australia. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a bit cold down here, though. So I can't wait to get back to my Byron Bay or Thailand.
Govinda, Govinda, Govinda.
Hare Krishna.
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Some good soul, please speak so I know I've got audio.
Yes, Maharaj, very welcome. Happy to see you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nitai
Because of
Gauranga.
your background, are you still in Malaysia?
I am
Okay.
still in Malaysia and hot and humid. This is Malaysia. And I've just been out and about. I came back just in time. Hence the mask here. It's the custom to wear the mask everywhere, even when eating. No, not while eating. 1 second, I'll just take the mask off. Actually, we get so used to wearing the mask, only when I saw myself in the video, I realized, oh, we're still wearing a mask. Dear devotees, welcome. Welcome to the devotional world. And it's not the digital world. We think, okay, we're going to use the internet. It's going to be digital. It's going to be something artificial, animated. I don't know. But actually, okay, I have an umbrella here so I can shield the screen so I can see you. Okay, now I can see everybody because it is very bright, actually. Okay. But we are in the digital world, but we are not in the artificial world. We're in a living world. And when I was in Thailand, then devotees were saying about how there becomes this paranoia amongst the teenagers, or this idea that they can't live up to the ideal that they show on their Instagram pages or their Facebook pages or TikTok, whatever it is these days, that they can't live up to the ideal that they show there, and so they become suicidal and this, that, and the other. But we are trying to be devotees, and we're trying to live a life not pretending something, but we're trying to live a life of actual devotion. So the digital world has its pitfalls, but the digital world also has got its opportunity for us as devotees. Not sure, but that's helpful or not. Anyway, let's see. So anyhow, dear devotees, we've come together, and I can just about see Leelamoy Prabhu, Rupa Nuga Prabhu, Seva Rupa Devirasi in the dark. My goodness, night in South Africa in November. Really, it's still night. Okay, now is coming into South African summer. And Udaran Prabhu, no doubt it is dark outside, but you're in a well-lit room. And Braja Sundari, probably light outside, you're in a well-lit room. Jayadev Prabhu, Roger, yes, Roger, welcome back. I believe a friend of Chintamani and Jayadev. Welcome back, Roger. And Gangalila Devidasi and Dana, welcome, both from the States. And Gangalila now back in America, I think. All right.
Yes,
So dear
Germany.
yes, okay, very good. And please excuse, we couldn't come up with any names of devotees anywhere near where you were visiting. And I hope your visit to Germany was successful, that you could give some relief and something positive contribution to your mum.
Yes, thank you so much. Actually, I went to the temple in Berlin, and I run into a sannyasin I know from San Diego. So he was only coming through there for 3 days. So that was quite good. And I got a garland from the deity to bring to my mother, and she was still in the shape of appreciating it. So that was very, very special. And now my mother has left her body.
So really it was the last visit.
Yes.
All right. So this is the nature of the world. It's the world we're living in. It doesn't only happen to others, it happens to us. And that's why we are here. We are here to be reminded of the positive purpose of our life, and not just to be blind to what is coming up in the future, but to be realistic, because as they say, the future is today, or today is the future. And today it'll be our time also to go through the next door, as it were. Hare Krishna. So from Praneshwari to everyone, there's a message. What is the message? Well, first of all, Dana is sending Hare Krishna and hearts and flowers, maybe tulsi leaf, I do not know, and all kinds of good things. And Praneshwari sending a Jai Nittai Gaura. Welcome, dear Danake and devotees. Very good. And in the meantime, welcome to Paramananda Prabhu. All shaved up, but I don't see the sannyas cloth. I see the same color cloth.
It's in his heart.
Of course. And Ajita Krishna Prabhu in the States, welcome also. All right, we're back to basics. Dandavat Ajita Krishna Prabhu, yes, very welcome. So in back to basics, let's begin with giving obeisances to each other, to Guru, to Gauranga. Banchakalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Om agyana timirandasya gyananjana shalakaya, chakshuran militam jena, tasmai shri guruve namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvijay Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, first of all, any question from anybody?
No, Maharaj. So you're free to enlighten us.
Brajasundari always has a question.
She raised her hand.
Leela
Okay,
always
very
has a
good.
question. Paramananda always has a contribution. Seva Rupa always has a question. We're with lively devotees. So,
so let's go it on order. Brajasundari and then Leela Mohi.
Brajasundari Dedi.
Hare Krishna, please accept my deep obeisances. I have a question about Hrishikesh, emotions, feelings, senses. Simply in Russian, I think that as well as in English, we have one like category feelings to which we can which involves senses, emotions, and feelings such love, hate, and so on. But Hrishikesh, he is connected with all these feelings or only with senses? That is the question. The first one.
Hare Krishna. Rishikesh. I'll think about it. What's the second question?
Actually, it was connected with the first one. All my questions now are connected with emotions, because I don't understand quite well. From one point of view, I know that our teachers were saying that if, for example, during the kirtan we want to cry, we need to try not to cry until it is possible. But it was said about emotions connected with devotions. But what is about emotions which are not connected with devotions, which are connected with our mundane life, with our mundane experience? We also need to suppress these emotions, or what shall we do with them?
Okay. Hare Krishna. So first of all, let me say that we are alive, and the symptom of life is we have feelings. So it's not that every feeling we've got to push out and make ourselves like a stone, that I have no feeling, I have no this, no that. And you see Mahaprabhu himself, he showed feelings when, for instance, his first wife passed away, Lakshmi Priya. When he was in West Bengal, when he came back, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it describes that he showed feelings just like an ordinary person. He's demonstrating that we are not heartless. And so life means we do have feelings. But Rishika Isha, Rishikesh, I have here Krishna, the Lord who directs the senses of the devotees. Rishika Isha is Rishikesh. He is the owner of all senses. But senses generally, I am thinking of Rishikesh more in the sense of controlling one's senses, being sensible, the word sensible, being sensible with our senses. But controlling our emotion, we have to think about that, because there is devotion and there is emotion, and this is always something which we're being asked, how to understand whether we are feeling emotion, or just being emotional, or whether we are actually being devotional. But either way, it is a symptom of life. So as with everything in life, we need to direct that towards Krishna consciousness. So when we are feeling sad that our cat died, our dog died, or things of this world, or we get some news, family news perhaps, that somebody's passed away or injured, naturally we feel something. But when we can direct all of our senses towards Krishna, then we can consider that the emotion, whatever it is that we're feeling inside, is born from devotion rather than mundane sentiment. But here is Rishika Isha is the breakdown of the word Rishikesh. And emotion in the material sense, what are you thinking? You're reading a novel, and then you or watching a movie, a romance movie, and then some sadness comes. I'm not quite sure what context we're thinking.
I'm always was a very emotional person. That's why I'm interested in these things, because before in my life I was trying to suppress my emotions, but I now understand that it is impossible and that it can even hurt somehow. So I'm trying to find a way to live with my emotions, and So I also have a question that, as far as I know, Bhagavad Gita, it is said that we need to control our senses with the help of our mind. But how can we at least try to control our emotions with the help of our intelligence, or with the help of what?
If we are doing everything for Krishna, this is the key. If we do everything for Krishna, then we can consider that our emotion, it is a natural thing which is in relation to devotion. But it really, if we are a pure devotee, and actually if we are nishtha, continuous 25 hours a day in Krishna thought and not in any mundane thought, then we can have a little faith that what we're feeling is of the spiritual nature rather than our mundane sentiment and mundane emotion. Difficult for me to say without, I mean, there may be some specific cases, I really don't know. But what we do want to do is to separate out the Krishna conscious things from the devotional, Krishna conscious things from the mundane things, no matter what it may be, whether it's beauty of scenery, beauty of smell, something which is making us feel happy inside, whether it is something that's making us feel sad inside, the news, things that atrocities that take place, suffering that takes place, cruelty to animals or something. But when we can make our consciousness in the Krishna consciousness side, then we can think that we won't be wasting our emotional energy, our living energy, on mundane thought. But Rajasundari, you're alive and you have a soft heart. And we need to have a soft heart. We need to be simple-hearted and not complicated. So the thing is that analysis can also, as we said, well, paralysis last time when we were together, but analysis, then it can make us very hard-hearted by trying to analyze everything. So instead of a lot of analysis, we'll just try to think, okay, am I being emotional for mundane purpose, or am I being emotional in spiritual purpose? And Praneshri is feeding us with various quotes here from Bhagavad Gita. Savo pari vinirmuktang tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uchyate. Quite a famous verse.
That is quoted by Paramananda, and you have the translation at the bottom, the last message, because that quote was from Paramananda Prabhu.
Oh, not from you?
No.
So it is Paramananda Prabhu. Both names begin with P. Just see the different people beginning with P. All right, and then Paramananda Prabhu gives the translation. Pure devotion is service to the Supreme Lord, which is free from all relative conceptions of self-interest. Okay.
What I mentioned before Paramananda Prabhu was this verse in Bhagavad Gita 11:35, where it gives the meaning of Rishikesh, the Lord of the senses of all beings.
Can you just tell us the translation? Oh, is that? So can you tell us the translation of that verse, Praneshwari?
No, it's just a mention. Is chapter 11:35. And the word Hrishikesh, the meaning of Hrishikesh is Lord of the senses of all beings.
Okay. Yes.
Maharaj, I can just read the translation and then you can continue. So
yes.
Bhakti, or devotional service, means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and one and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. It has also been explained, this is Srila Prabhupada's, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's translation, also Srila Guru Maharaj and Gurudev speaks about on this verse, and they're saying that before we actually achieve the position of the servitor, a proper servitor, before we attain that position, a platform of dedication, we must become nirmalam, clean of sarvapadi, of all sorts of contaminations, including cleansing our heart, and really that includes purifying the senses, purifying the mind. So we spoke earlier today on that subject, actually, by reading Revealed Truth, that all the emotions, all the feelings, they have their origin in the spiritual world. They're all coming from there. Everything is coming from there. But they're sort of distorted here. We're under the influence of the external energy. We're covered by illusion. So they are not pure, contaminated, distorted. So you have to restore it to its original position to actually experience true feelings, true emotions. And that is only possible through service connection, through seva, through mercy. And in the process, you will feel how it will be purified. And then at some point, and another verses, part of the verses, I'm just trying to make it as short as possible. It will just enter your heart. It will be absolutely unstoppable and causeless. At that point, you may feel some substantial feelings, substantial emotions that are actually have divine nature. But before that point, before that, you're actually pure. And in other words, we quoted Shradhara Tir Bhaktira Nukramishiti. Guru Maharaj explained that up to the point of rati, or strong attraction for Krishna, still even on the platform of nishta, strong faith, we still have our senses that are not perfectly clean. They're still contaminated. So not every emotion there can be of divine origin. So it will still have some connection with the mundane platform. I mean, it's a long subject, Maharaj, as you know, and you already perfectly answered pretty much everything. But I mean, you can give a talk after talk after talk after talk, and Srila Gurudev actually explains. There's a chapter, Devotion or Emotion, and Revealed Truth. I think that's a good read on that subject.
Jai. And really it comes down to following the process to clean our heart so that we are devotional and we've got Krishna at the center. Then everything will come, and we know by the descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam and described by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, but Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, then we know like very intense feelings in the upper world, but it is all devotional. So we just basically want to be devotees. And then, as we mentioned before, only we can rely on whatever feelings we have are actually got their origin in the upper world, when we can say that we are 25 hours, means absolutely continuously engaged in mind, body, and word in Krishna consciousness, putting the Lord at the center. So good to clean our hearts. How to clean our heart? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Service to the Vaishnavas, honoring prasadam, leaving aside the 6 unfavorable things, accepting the 6 favorable things, associating with devotees, serving the devotees, but center upon chanting the holy name of the Lord. And maybe Praneshwari, you'd like to read your excerpt you gave from Home Comfort, Searching for Our Home. So this is Srila Guru Maharaj, Praneshwari reading.
Before we can have experience of this world, our senses receive information which is then conveyed to the mind. But in the case of the soul, we can feel everything directly ourselves without the help of any instrument. Through a microscope, we see one thing, and through the naked eye, we see something else. there is a difference. Through the eye, ear, etc., we have some experience of this world, but concerning the soul, if we can withdraw from progress in the negative side, we shall be able to feel. Oh, this is the nature of the soul. We shall directly feel how we are without the help of any instrument. Who we are, sorry. We shall directly feel who we are without the help of any instrument. And Sevarupa Didi has another quote. Can you please read it, Sevarupa?
And where is it from?
She will
It's
tell us.
all Dandavats. It's
Dandavat.
also, I think it's an add-on to what was posted by Paramananda Prabhu. That quote, it's on Veda base, and I think it's a explanation by Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Yes. So it's longer, but I just took a short part of it where it says, this is the bhakti to engage the purified senses in the service of the master of senses, Rishikesh. Rishikesh means master, Rishika means the senses, and Isha means master. So Rishikesh. Krishna's another name is Rishikesh. But the full, I think, reading on that also goes on to say that, so we have to engage our senses. It is not our senses, it is Krishna's, and we have forgotten it. So I am seeing with my eyes. I'm very proud that I can see, but we are actually blind. The eyes are belonging to Krishna. So every part of us, it's an instrument. So I think it's about seeing that we are being used in the service of Krishna and not actually our own or my body or my senses.
And another thing is that this, I think, well, I would suggest that this is all within the category of revealed truth, that when real emotion will come to us, we'll know it. Just like when the name will actually come to our tongue, we will know it. When we see Krishna, or when Krishna sees us and he allows us to see him, we will know it. It won't take another person to tell us. Like Guru Maharaj gives the example of a lit match in a dark room. Oh, then it is lit up and then you can see what is what. Or the child growing up in a dungeon and then he wants to take a candle to see the sun. When a friend comes, oh, I'll show you the sun. So what was our experience? And in our life, we can think that what we had experienced a long time ago, and we thought, oh, this may be something spiritual, or, something inspirational. Then we also realize that lots of things mature in our life. And one day, then we have that promise and hope that everything will become very clear to us if we sincerely try to follow the process. And I see now another long quote has come. Oh, from Sevarupa, you're expanding that quotation by Srila Prabhupada, I think. Yes. The spectacle does not see, I am seeing. Similarly, with my eyes, I am not seeing, Krishna is seeing. Because Krishna is seeing, therefore I am seeing. This is the Vedic version. Okay, well, these are some things for you to meditate on, because this is also revolution. This is the Vedic version. I will find in Upanishad. This is Srila Prabhupada. It must be a letter or something.
Yes, it's on.
Because the Supreme Brahman is seeing, therefore we are seeing. Because the Brahman is walking, there are many evidences. Just like this ear. Now I am hearing with this ear. You are also hearing. But when I am unconscious, this ear is there, and you call me Mr. Mo, Mr. Sir, Mr. Sir, but I cannot hear. The machine is there. Why you cannot hear? Therefore, the Brahman, the spirit, is withdrawn. Yeah, that's not from something published as such, because it is Srila Prabhupada's spoken English, you can say, or dictated English, perhaps. Hare Krishna, we are alive, therefore we have emotion. We are alive, and therefore we have willing, feeling, and thinking. So with our willing, feeling, and thinking, let us try to will, feel, and think for Krishna and his devotees. And when I'm dead, I'll still be alive, and we'll find that out soon too. Because I am dead is this body is dead, not the person in the body. Hare Krishna. And good you are emotional, Braja Sundari. You're alive. And now be 25 hours a day, devotional, and everything will be perfect. Can you do that?
I'm trying, Maharaj, but I'm not successful.
Okay, that is perfect. That we are trying, and we won't feel ourselves successful unless Krishna makes it clear to us. And even then, Krishna is likely to make it clear and then inspire us within. Oh, this is private. Nobody else will. It's not for anybody else to know, to publicize. Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Guru Maharaj describes that he was being pushed by one gentleman that, have you seen God? Have you seen God? And he wanted to take, and he took Srila Saraswati Thakur to a private place. But Guru Maharaj said that I felt a little uneasy. I didn't want Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to be alone with the man. So I took a seat nearby and I heard the conversation. And that man pressured Guru Maharaj. Have you seen, that man pressured Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Have you seen God? Have you seen God? And Srila Saraswati Thakur gave him the answer. What benefit is it for you if I say I have seen God, or if I say I have not seen God? It is for you to search after the Lord. And Guru Maharaj said that that man still kept pressuring him. But Srila Saraswati Thakur did not say, I have seen or not seen. And similarly, we know, or in another bit of a context, we know about emotion, the spiritual emotion, that we hear that Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, we've heard of incidences, of Guru Maharaj, we know of incidences, of Guru Dev, we know of incidences, where they have tried very much to conceal any emotional symptoms. But in each case, each of those four grand personalities of the recent time, in each case, on some occasions, some very strong feelings that could not be hidden. And we are witness to this with Gurudev, we are witness to this with Guru Maharaj, and we've heard about this with Srila Saraswati Thakur, and we've heard about this with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and we've heard from Guru Maharaj about Srila Saraswati Thakur. So they are all trying to suppress and not to advertise. And it's the disease of the Sahajya section, that whatever little things they feel, they try to show, oh, I am so spiritual. I have got this, I have got that. Hare Krishna. And some may have something. And Guru Maharaj in general was generous about the sadhus, etc. And in one case, he got to meet by chance, or however it happened, he got to see one famous sadhu who was famous for showing some emotions and this, that, and the other. And Guru Maharaj mentioned how he saw that sadhu, and he looking and thinking, and said it struck him that what this sadhu was doing was the very beginning stage of devotional service. And he is aspiring for what our Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what he has, who has come from that upper world. Then this other sadhu, who is somewhat famous, then Guru Maharaj said, I saw that he was aspiring for that, but he did not have it. But in this world, and I think formerly, previously, in the sense of previously, I think previously there were better experts at imitation in India, because we do hear how the public became captivated by miracles, captivated by emotional symptoms of apparent emotional symptoms of sadhus. But in our life, when we've met, sadhus, or they've been in a kirtan and they've been crying or rolling on the ground, perhaps due to the great caution given by Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev in particular in our life, due to that great caution, we look upon it as, well, there may be something there, but I'm giving my obeisances from a distance. I'm not going to get close to this at all. And still we can say, that we've been in the presence of, in our gatherings, that we've been meant to be the guest in the gathering and giving the talk. We've been in the presence of, emotionally surcharged people in the past who kind of make a show of things. And also, by the way, you can say show, but also in one program, there was a man dance who at the end of our program, we're doing Hari Haraya Nama Krishna, very traditional. And then we stood up because we want to have participation of the people. And it's an Indian gathering. And then one man, then he started dancing very enthusiastically. He wasn't kind of aggressive or affected, very enthusiastically. And then he lit a fire with whatever he had, the camphor things and whatever was there, but he had a good fire going and he's dancing in the fire. We have to say we've seen some extraordinary things in our life, but then we talk with him afterwards and everything, and he has quite an interesting conception of what is the goal of life and who is God. So we give our obeisances from a distance. And Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, we see different times, especially, they're saying how it's easy to be captured by miracle men, people who do miracles. But apart from that, seeing that man dancing in the fire, apart from seeing also with fire, people going down hot coals, like I don't know how many meters, maybe 30 meters of hot coals, going into trance and then going down. Things like this, which are extraordinary, then I haven't, all my time in India, seen, miracle men, except Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada's miracle of making the world Krishna conscious. But this is another kind of a miracle. They're not like becoming smaller than the smallest or bigger than the biggest, or doing some of the siddhis which are given in the scripture. And we do have a devotee, that Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, certified, said, yes, he has power. He can tell. His capacity is he can see any bag and he can tell you what is in that bag. And then later, some years later, I commented to Gurudev, but oh, we should bring that devotee. He'll be able to tell us what's in the bag. And Gurudev said, I think now he cannot do it. The influence of Kali Yuga, when any purity is lost, then that capacity is also lost. So Kali Yuga is very voracious, coming to take everything. And we must be careful for Kali Yuga.
Maharaj, there is another quotation from Paramananda Prabhu.
Okay, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. Oh, so this is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Oh, here we are. He's given the verse above. Na prema gandosti darapi me harao. This verse. And then Mahaprabhu saying, my dear friends, I have not the slightest tinge of love of Godhead within my heart. When you see me crying in separation, I am just falsely exhibiting a demonstration of my great fortune. I am just falsely exhibiting a demonstration of my great fortune. Indeed, not seeing the beautiful face of Krishna playing his flute, I continue to live my life like an insect without purpose. And there seem to be more.
Another contribution from Paramananda Prabhu.
Is it? Or it's a contribution by Praneshwari Devi Rasi?
Yes,
Paramananda
but
suggests us to read this story of Mukunda Kaviraj and the peacock fan.
But actually, Srila Madhusudana Maharaj just covered it very nicely about substantial devotees, the residents of the upper plane. They're always overwhelmed by the emotions, but in the same time, they're in a constant state of suppression of the emotions because their priority number one is seva. What is the seva when you're fainted? So even there, even though they're feeling it constantly, they're suppressing it. It's not that they're not trying to show it, but the main reason is, what kind of seva can I do if I'm overwhelmed by tears and I lose my consciousness? And Srila Govinda Maharaj, and you Maharaj probably remember that, he said that if we have some substantial kind of feelings, then we should lock it in the locker of our heart, keep it safe there, not to make a display out of it. And it's not that we as a practitioners who belong to this plane, the eternally fallen souls, that we cannot feel something. We're feeling just a glimpse of reality can overwhelm us with some kind of emotion. So we're feeling something, but we have to be very careful what kind of emotion is coming to us. So it's good to put them in a locker, and when the time is right, you can run it by someone who is a qualified person, your spiritual master, and see if this emotion is actually authentic. And still, you shouldn't make a display out of it. Still, put it in a locker and keep it there safely. Otherwise, it will cause you, just increase your petition, and you will, instead of doing something good, will be the cause that you're falling down. And the story about Mukunda Kaviraj is when he is suppressing these emotions in front of the Shah, Nabab Hussain Shah, when he went to attend, he was a Kaviraj, one of the, Kaviraj, one is the poet, another one is a physician. So he is the father of Raghunandan, the famous Mukunda. So when he saw a peacock feathers, the Shah, he's a Shah, he's got attendants, that they're doing some chimara and fanning him with the peacock feather. When he saw a peacock feather, immediately it reminded him about Krishna. And he couldn't control, just for a split of a second, he couldn't control. He was about to faint, and he regained his stature. And he concealed his feeling. And when the Shah, he observed that his physician was fainting. He said, what happened? He said, oh, just too much sun. Just feeling lightheaded. He did not disclose any of his feelings. He kept them deep inside. But another substantial Vaishnava from the same plane like Kaviraj Goswami, he can see what was the cause of that, why he felt that, why he was about to faint. He can understand that emotions without saying, without asking. So we're talking about a very high plane of existence here.
And Mahaprabhu, when he became unconscious in ecstatic love on his way back from Vrindavan, and while he's on the way, then the Pathan soldiers, they came across Mahaprabhu, like fainted on the ground, and then the devotees, two of them from Bengal were trembling that incident. But when Mahaprabhu came around to his consciousness, to external consciousness, then he simply he said to the Pathan soldier, "Oh, I suffer from epilepsy." He made up a story because with the devotees, and the devotees can understand and everything, but with the Pathan soldiers, and they would not be able to understand. And simple solution: yes, I suffer from epilepsy, and these are my assistants. They're coming to protect me. Various opportunities. Sorry, various examples.
That verse of Mahaprabhu is saying, if you see tears coming from my eyes, it's just a pretension. I do not possess real love for Krishna. If he is saying that, I think it's a perfect example.
And now Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarvashaktis, that verse also saying, the Lord, you've done everything from your side. My misfortune is I don't have a drop of taste for your holy name. I am so unfortunate. This is Mahaprabhu's expression for us. So we will be careful about emotion, but we will be careful about devotion. And so we'll try to be sensible in our life and not to advertise anything. Really, whether it's mundane emotion, we should keep check. Whether it's spiritual emotion, we should keep check. But our heart must be soft, and it's a symptom of life, and it's a understanding of the reality of Krishna's world, that it's a living world. It's not calculative, it's not static, but everything is living, and you see, it's living with spiritual emotion. So again, it comes back to we need to be devotees. In fact, I keep on thinking, I keep on reading, and I keep on thinking, we really do need to be devotees. I mean, this is the crux of it all. Hare Krishna. If only we can be devotees, everything is solved. But actually, Rajasundari's answer about when I asked, are you practicing 25 hours a day continuously? She said, I am trying. And this really is the answer for us all. We are to try. And not like going to the church once a week for an hour, or coming to back to basics once a week for an hour. The idea is that before this program, okay, some of you were sleeping because it was early in the morning, but before this program and after this program and during the program, we are remembering Krishna, and that we do have running in the background there, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda. Some more.
Amritam.
That is interesting at the bottom of the page.
Do you want Paramananda Prabhu to read it, Maharaj?
Yes, good. I was
Maharaj
reading
can
it,
read it.
well, I was reading it silently, but I'm making a lot of noise. Good that you read it, Prabhu, please.
How about we ask somebody else to read, Maharaj?
Okay, Rupanuga, Prabhu.
Here you go.
We know you can read good English. Can you see the chat box on your little phone?
Maybe it's difficult.
Oh, your microphone is off.
Hey,
I don't know if you're reading.
I read it all in that time. No. Okay. So long as I can read the English, that is good. The cause of the Lord's protectiveness is his mercy alone. O destroyer of sin, my heart is averse to a trace of devotion, and it burns in the fire of hopelessness when I hear about the incomparable, formidable devotional services rendered by the great predecessor devotees. But now that I have heard about the wave of your mercy, which floods the universe, the core of my heart, sprinkled by a drop of hope, is soothed with cooling relief once again.
Wow.
Very beautifully read, Prabhu. And this is from Rupa Goswami, quoted in Shri Shri Prapanajivanamritam. O destroyer of sin, my heart is averse to a trace of devotion, and it burns in the fire of hopelessness when I hear about the incomparable, formidable devotional services rendered by the great predecessor devotees. But now that I have heard about the wave of your mercy which floods the universe, the core of my heart, sprinkled by a drop of hope, is soothed with cooling relief once again.
A drop of hope.
A drop of hope, and it's soothed with cooling relief once again. And this is our age. It's not the age of Ramayana, not the age of Mahabharata, not the age of this, that, and the other. It's the age of Mahaprabhu, the distribution of mercy. And this is our hope. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda, Gopala. And various Pathans can hear our conversation, which is also not bad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I think Pathan may not be a commonly known word.
Is it a bird?
No, we referred to the Pathan soldiers just now. Govinda, Govinda. Meat eater soldiers.
By the way, they were converted into devotees. And it is also said that till this day, the line of Pathan Vaishnav is still existing in India.
Hare Krishna. Mahaprabhu's wonder of wonders. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Praneshwari Revidasi.
A drop of hope has captured my senses, my heart. A drop of hope. So much mercy that we have received it, Maharaj. So much mercy that we have Gurudev who came to give us that drop of hope. And we can only surrender before that drop. It's a gift for us. It is our shelter, is what we need. Such a beautiful quote. Thank you so, so much for sharing it. Thank you so, so much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any contribution or short question from any quarter?
Maharaj, there is a contribution from Ashapurna, which she shared privately, but is not private. It's so absolutely important that I'm going to put it in the chat because by mistake, she just sent it to me. Very, very special. So Ashapurna, if you can please read it.
Govinda, Govinda. Is Ashapurna still with us? Oh, I
Yes,
see her
yes.
moving, but
She's
your
here, she's here.
microphone.
I'm trying to put my hands up, but I'm like holding the iPad. I just want
It
to
is also very dark, very
Yeah.
dark with you.
It's nighttime here.
Yes.
Let me go to the chat room. Okay. Dandavats. I'm reminded how Srila Bhakti Siddhar Goswami Maharaj talks of the prayers of Queen Rukmini. Queen Rukmini being an exalted super servitor, whereas we are not, prays to Krishna, shamelessly asking him to kidnap her. She says in her letter that the senses are only meant for Krishna, praying to him in her realization that everything is meant for Krishna, every one of the senses. And she realizes no one but Krishna can rescue her. So I was just reminded of those talks when we were talking earlier about the senses and emotions. And I also read Sundari in How to Help Dealing with Our Emotions. Srila Bhakti Siddhar Goswami Maharaj always emphasizes that in any position we are in, doesn't matter. We could, anywhere we are, we can begin to listen to an agent of reality. I find that really hopeful. So even if we're feeling too much of our material emotions and it's just bewildering us, this is what we can do. This is what, like we can do that. We can at least try to hear from our position. And I'm reminded how in Thailand, in Nityananda's association, he said something that really stuck with me. It was so sweet. He was saying how, he listens to Goswami Maharaj and writes down, what he does during his talks. And he said, even though my ears are clogged, I'm somehow being able to hear a Vaishnava, hear from a proper agent, and that the ears can, are pathways to the heart. He said that Goswami Maharaj said that to him. And he said that, we really want to, anyway, he said it was a really nice conversation, and just how, just we can try to listen, even though our earways are clogged. Anyway, dandavats.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yes, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Sorry, there was a noisy motorcycle catching up, my karma catching up with me. Noisy motorcycle sounds. We have been the cause, and now we sometimes are the recipient of the sound. Hare Krishna.
But you were
Oh.
doing so in Kolkata with the motorcycle.
I was trying. I was trying. If it was accepted or not, I do not know. But there we are. Hare Krishna. Okay, dear devotees, so let us conclude here today. And I mean, one definite lesson to take from today about back to basics is whatever we have in our heart, which we may feel is something like exciting or something capturing our tears and everything else, we should try always to consider, well, first of all, I'm not engaged 24 hours a day in mind, body, and words, so it's unreliable as far as its questionable spiritual content goes. But still, we will try to suppress whatever emotions that we are having. We'll be coming back to the point of Mahaprabhu's teachings, hearing, as we just heard, hearing from a proper agent. And that includes Chaitanya Charitamrita, the books of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj. And that chapter, Emotion or Devotion, which is in Revealed Truth, I do believe, is some good reading for us all to put a perspective on what we are feeling and what also we will show to the public. And what we will show outside really must be what we are, which is we are trying to be devotees. We are trying to follow the line of devotion, chanting Hare Krishna, offering our food, giving respect and service to the Vaishnavas headed by Guru, and putting Krishna at the center. But we will stay well clear of the Sahajiya section, but understand we are alive, so things naturally will be felt in us. We must have feeling. After all, we're here to cultivate love of God. Isn't that a feeling? There we are. Okay, dear devotees, wishing you successful days, hours, and moments continuously until we meet again soon. And on this theme, let us make our basis firm and clear. We can always come back to Sri Upadeshamritam and read our 6 senses to control, 6 items to reject, 6 items to accept, 6 ways of associating with the devotees. And the conclusion of all advice, to continuously chant the holy name, the glories, pastimes, etc. of the Lord without cessation. And then the miracle of our disease being cured will take effect. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. And our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. And all the sound, sensible, sane guidance they have given to us in their flow of mercy coming from Mahaprabhu to the present day, to their grace ki Jai. And to all the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai, all the Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki Jai, Ananta Koti and unlimited millions of devotees ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Bancha Kalpatarubhischa, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, and happy to be in the association of all of you, and looking forward to meeting again very soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Let I
Krishna
go.
Maharaj. Dandavats from Nirupama Devidasi, from Sevarupa, from Mexico, from Kate Coolish, from Audarja Leela.
That's okay, very good. My dandavat to you all, to Kamala Sundari, Kate Coolish, I do believe, and to all of you who we've heard the devotional names of just now too. Good to know that you're on Facebook too. Unfortunately, I only have one connection, so I don't have 2 simultaneous. I can't run Facebook and Zoom from that same connection. Dandavat Pranam, with all best wishes. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.